All right, let's move on. The great stuff there. Let's move on to the next game, and it's Knicks and Bucks. Got a little bit less on this one, but I think it's still going to get some good stuff on it. Sean Little, let's go to you. You are on those New York Knickerbockers. They are getting 3.5 points versus the Milwaukee Bucks at home. There was a 4.5 in the market. It's now looking at 3.5. What is you like the Knicks here? Tell me why.
Yeah, really interesting spot with they play the Bucks on Saturday as well. It's an afternoon game, and then they have the day off. Then Christmas Day, they play the Bucks again in that early window. That's a very unique situation for both of these teams to be in. I was initially leaning to the over, which we'll get to, and then I was looking at the first half over. And then overall, I think what'll get me a more prominent slip, maybe a heavier slip on the Knicks is if the Bucks win the first game on Saturday. The Bucks win the first game on Saturday. This is the second game of the duplex spot at home on Christmas Day. I do like the Knicks a lot more to cover the number, but more than anything, the Knicks have become an over team. Without Mitchell Robinson overall, it's been a lot more offense. They're now tinkering with Josh Hart at the center position. They're trying to scramble and figure that piece out. Taj Gibson got some run, but that's not going to be the answer for more than a Band-Aid patchwork type of situation. Hardenstein's still going to be there, but he can't play 48 minutes. They've now become an over team, and we know that the Milwaukee Bucks have been absolutely lights out to the over. 19-8 overall. The Knicks are 15-2 overall to the over as well. Bucks 7-3 to the over on the road. So if I like the over either way in this spot, depending on what number gets posted and finalized. If the Knicks lose the first game, I'll take the points in the second spot of the duplex on Christmas. I just know Jalen Brunson and those guys are going to show up in that big spot, and they're familiar with those guys. They are familiar with those guys. And if they lose that Saturday game, I believe this is like 9 straight losses to the Bucks. So they eventually will have that. I had to shout out our guy Jay, revenge spot for the Knicks to eventually get a W, and knowing they saw those guys 2 nights prior. Pay attention to the first game of that duplex spot on Saturday. It'll tell you a lot, I believe, for that Monday, Christmas Day game.
By the way, Jay was kind enough to send over a best bet, and guess what it is? Knicks plus 4.5. He is on this game right here. AC is thinking the exact same way that I am, and AC, I'll let you go and say what a conditional play for you. Tell me what the conditions are for you to make a play on this game.
Yeah, it's just such a unique scheduling quirk, right? They're playing Saturday morning, if you will, 11 or noon, something like that, and then they're rematching again on Monday morning. So I doubt the Bucks are going to leave New York. It's another one of those spots where the visiting team is going to stay over and enjoy Christmas Eve in New York City. So yeah, if they lose Saturday night, if the Knicks lose Saturday night, especially in blowout type fashion, then I like the Knicks to kind of bounce back on Monday, Christmas Day.
I am the opposite. I want the Knicks to win on Saturday. Duplex spot, playing within 3 days, and you're a dog at home in both games since 2019. If you win that first game, if you pull off that upset, and then you're an underdog at home again, which they will be, that will not change the line for the Monday game. 15-25 straight up, 16-24 for 40% ATS. So the road favorite after losing that first set, if they're favored in that second one, is 60% against the spread. So if I haven't made this a best bet yet, I will wait for that game. And if the Knicks lose, I will probably struggle with this because the Bucks are a team that all my numbers are going to be like, fade them. They're bitches. Fade them. And I have to be like, no, they're a really good team model. They're a championship contender. They just have a lot of bad defensive games on the schedule. They could still definitely win this game by margin. Part of the thing with this team that's hard to evaluate is their offense is so goddamn good. It is so good that it's really difficult to like get they can not play well and cover the number because their offense is so insane. I like the spot for the Knicks. I like all those opportunities, but for me, I think it's going to be Bucks or nothing if they lose in that Saturday game. What I think I'll do is I'll bet the Knicks on Saturday and then I'll look to bet the Bucks in the second one because
Yeah, really quick.
bah humbug.
Delara knows, like, the Knicks have been just a flat out roller coaster. They win one, they lose one, they win one, they lose one. And Tom Thibodeau and the guys coming off of a loss this year are 8-2-1 to this against the spread, coming off of a loss. So if they do lose that Saturday game, the heightened atmosphere and being Christmas Day at the Garden could be an even additional pick me up for them coming off a loss. But like we've been mentioning, this is a very unique spot that you don't see very often. Two straight, a duplex spot with 2 day games on Saturday and then a holiday. So pay attention there.
There is no way that when the total reopens that this is the number that it's at, but the early look at Andrew AOL is like, no. The total on this game that on the look ahead was 223.5. Surprise, surprise. I'll be betting if this does open at 223.5, I will absolutely jam the over into oblivion. I will say that there's no number this is going to pop at that I won't be on the over because I have this 245. AO, you've got it. What do you have this one projected at?
Yeah, 246.3. So they have the Bucks have a 127.4 offensive rating last 5 games. Knicks 121.1. And yeah, Knicks without Mitch, Bucks defense. That's an over.
I just don't. The Bucks defense is not good. It's still not good.
No.
They've improved, and so I was like, okay, maybe they've gotten the defense together. So I'm checking Clay in the glass. I'm like, the last 2 weeks, 18th in defensive rating. They're not good. They're just not good. So over is gonna be my best bet play there. We do have Jim. You have a same game parlay, which God bless you, sir.
Oh boy.
Actually, so this Sean was talking his cap of the game. I was like, yeah, I've got to play for that cap of the game. If you want a little lotto ticket to start the day, maybe it floats the rest of your bets the rest of the day. You don't even have to stress this lands. So it's gonna be Jalen Brunson and Knicks money line. And now obviously this is not out there in the market yet. I'm thinking you can get something around Brunson 30 plus and a Knicks money line around plus 350. But you know how we do it here. We're going to do a little, I'll talk through the cap and then we'll talk through some ways we can escalate this, bring it a little bit higher. But I mean, Brunson was basically created in a lab to just maul this drop defense for the Bucks here. I mean, he's got the crazy mid-range game, which has been bouncing back lately. He's shooting 47% from 3 this season. We've seen the Bucks get dominated by guards time and time again this season. Brunson did to him once already in that first in-season tournament game this season. He hit him for 45. Last year, he hit him for 44. That's when they had Drew Holiday. And Brunson is just that guy that, in a big Christmas Day game, like Sean was saying, like that Garden's going to be electric. He's going to be throwing up the celly like Sean just threw there. It's going to be good. So, we talk about the ladder versus the escalator, which is it going to be? This is going to be the escalator for me because I'm going to put my foot on the first ring of this. And then all of a sudden I'm going to be at the top because I'm going to not know how to stop betting it. It's going to be Knicks 50 or Brunson 50 plus and Knicks minus 10.5. Some crazy number. I'm gonna be at the top of the escalator looking back like what just happened, but it's too good. You got to do it. Float your bankroll for the start of the day. So yeah, a little same game parlay action for you.
To that end, Joe Delara is not as ambitious as Jim Turvey, but he does also have a play on Jalen Brunson in this game.
Yeah, surprisingly, I'm not on it that high. But look, I like Brunson to go over his points line. We'll probably see like a 25.5, I think. He had 24 and 45 against the Bucks. The only reason I think he didn't go over that, he didn't really crush in the other game. He finished at 24. He was 0 for 5 from 3. We haven't really seen that often from Brunson this season. Additionally, when we look at point guards against the Milwaukee Bucks, like they're just smacking. Kyrie Irving 39, LaMelo 37, Luka 35, Brunson's obviously averaging 34.5, Maxey 31. Like the list goes on and on. So I really do like the spot for Brunson. I think that the line is just going to be a bit too low, and especially with the way these defenses have kind of been situated at this point in the season.
Brian Fonseca has another reason why Brunson did not go over in that last
first third quarter that Julius Randle's probably played this season. Because that game, I remember I was on Green Dot Daily. I was like, take Jalen Brunson over because he's going to, every time he sees Brook Lopez, his eyes light up and he wants to just float over him and shoot over him from like 16 feet out. That's what he does. But in that particular game, in the third quarter, the Knicks were playing pretty well leading up to this. and Julius Randle decides, as the Bucks are getting hot from 3, this is my only concern with the Jalen Brunson over. The Bucks are getting hot from 3, and then Julius Randle decides, I'm going to take a lot of turnaround fadeaways from 2 in order to combat this. And I'm going to go one-on-one with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Brook Lopez over and over again. And I'm going to shoot any shot I want. And Knick fans, not y'all, Knick fans were like, oh, Julius Randle had an amazing game. He had over 40 points. He shot 14 from 19. But I was like, I saw that third quarter and he took them out of the game. And I was like, no, like this is what's scary about betting Jalen Brunson overs for me, is if Julius Randle is gonna do this shit. So, but I love Jalen Brunson in this spot. And I do think the Knicks should cover. We'll see. But I'm probably gonna bet whoever loses on Saturday, I'm probably gonna take them on Monday.
Yeah, as long as Randall's not the Grinch.
Seriously.
Julius, you're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Your arms, they are so short. Milwaukee Bucks, by the way, give up the 3rd most points to pick and roll ball handler this season via Synergy Sports. They give up, as a comparison here to put this in perspective, they give up 21.1 points a game just to the ball handler and pick and roll. Not with the roller, not on kickouts, just the ball handler coming off and scoring 21.1 points per game. They are closer to number 2 Detroit than they are to number 4 Boston. So, like, it's bad. So, yeah, hard to argue with this spot.